Today is looking up already. I've found my favourite sunglasses. Following the enormous success that was yesterday, we're heading back into London again. Houston, we have a problem. This hinge, see how that's now wobbly? This bit of the hinge has just broken. Can't ride it like that. Oh man, this thing worked brilliantly as well. So, penny board. Yeah, that's really annoying. I was just straightening it out and the metal went no. So I think basically it's because I put that extra rubber in the edge, and it's just meant that it's just beyond what the metal can take. We're here. Here you go. Some cutlery for you. And a nice healthy yogurt for pudding. One of the great things about this particular museum is that it's actually free to get in. Although we did make a small, donation. It's an old-fashioned steam engine, Jasper. Fingers. It's another steam engine. They're everywhere, aren't they? Look at the size of that. I've always been fascinated by steam engines. They're just amazing pieces of kit. Do you know what that is? That's an old-fashioned tractor. Oh, where are you going? Get down. You see this sign? See this sign here? Do you know what that means? That means no touching. These are some crazy looking vehicles though, aren't they? You see, that is a perfect example of what's wrong with the idea of putting solar panels on top of a Tesla. Look at this car and the design of it. See, it's one person at the front. It's built of like nothing, and it's just solar panels. And I tell you what, I bet it's not exactly a speed demon either. Spaceships! Look, rockets! Whoa! What have you found there? Is that like the very first rocket ever? These are rocket engines. Look how complicated and big they are. Wow! What's what? That's the moon lander, Jasper. Bigger than I thought it would be, actually. Quite a lot bigger. What's that? That is an astronaut. That's his spacesuit. That's what people wear when they want to go out in space. Fingers. Hubble Space Telescope. And that's smaller than I thought it would be. No, nobody drives it, Jasper. This one's driven by computers. This is a V2 rocket here. Wow. That was pretty complicated, even for then. One thing that's really sort of hitting home to me walking around Science Museum, technology is kind of a bit like biology in that it's all about evolution, but in order for that process to work, you need a sort of minimum viable product. In that respect, I think when you look at EVs versus hydrogen, you've got that minimum viable product with EVs, whereas hydrogen's still not quite there. That is the world's oldest steam engine. I've kind of accepted that there's just so much stuff we're not going to see today, but that's okay, because we'll come back when Jasper's a little bit older. Whatever they use to stick that up there, that's what I need for my folding board. Yeah, that's an awesome museum, but Jasper definitely needs to be older. Come on, Jasper, let's go. The park's just up here ahead. We're having a little bit of trouble at the moment because the road is not clearly delineated from the pavement. I've been trying to bribe him with ice cream to try and give him the extra energy necessary, but I have a feeling he's flagging, which is a problem because we're a good hour and a half away from the car. Try not to wobble so much as you're going along.
That's a funny car.
That's a Renault Twizy. Look, there's a river. Actually, no, it's not. It's the Serpentine. It's not a river at all. It's a lake. You can't go wrong in weather like this. I mean, the Science Museum was definitely the wrong age group for him. But I think he still enjoyed it. Right, careful around this corner, Jasper. There might be bicycles. Come on, Jazzy. I think there's somewhere to get ice creams down there. busyness of the Science Museum, this is perfect. Isn't it, Jazzy?
Shall we go on some of those boats? Which one can we go on?
I don't know, I think it's best if we steer clear of boats today. It's a bit tricky with when it's just me and you. YouTubers, do you think? After that little energy infusion, I think it's probably time to try and head back to the underground. Hyde Park is amazing. You know, I had a whole plan for what I was going to talk about today, but the honest truth is, vlogging with him is so tricky. You know, because you've got to divide your attention constantly. Yeah, so I've kind of given up on talking about the evolution of technology, except the sort of central point that I wanted to make was that I think that EVs have definitely got to that point where they do stand on their own 2 feet. They make sense. They have that minimum viable product now. So consequently, I think the reality of EVs as a sort of mass market thing, I'd say is more or less a foregone conclusion. It's a question of when and not if. Yeah, I'm not sure about that, Jasper. Horsey's going into the London Park, Jasper. Unfortunately, my chosen tube station was totally closed, Lancaster Gate, until July. So we now have to do extra scooting along to the next tube station, which would be absolutely fine, except somebody's running out of energy. And I think Jasper's a bit tired too. Come on, Jazzy, here's the tube station. Confession time, I did have a little tumble. It wasn't my fault. Stone got caught under the wheel and this board is only just larger than my shoe. Not ideal. I'm gonna get the longboard sorted. I'm just not sure how. It's at this point that I can officially confirm it would just have been cheaper, quicker and easier to just buy a board up. Tell you what, am I ever happy that Sophie's around tomorrow. Oh yeah. Have a day off. Mind you, she's been working too, so she probably wants a day off as well. Did you enjoy the Science Museum, Jasper? Fingers?
Yes.
Yeah. Just got another hinge, but it's the same kind as I had before, so I'm not sure that's gonna work. But it might do, because actually I think it was the rubber that I put that just basically took the hinge to places it's not capable of going. So if I remove or I sand down the rubber so that it will close up a little bit easier, then who knows? Honestly, who knows? And give it a try, and then I can always buy a whole nother hinge, you know, like a really chunky one. We're home. This board is also undergoing a little bit of an evolution. You know, we've got something that more or less works, it's just not quite there. I'm going to make a few adjustments, we'll see how we go with that. Let me just quickly show you what I mean about the problem. This is your hinge here, and because I put so much rubber in the wood here, it basically wouldn't actually close properly, and then as you stood on it, all that pressure would go in right there. How it worked before was you had the wood, and then you had a loop of hinge and a loop of hinge here, and these loops of hinge would push against the wood, and then this one, I mean, it looks like it'd be the same thing, but it isn't. Far more leverage going on in this one, I think, which is why that one is not the one we want to use. That's how it used to work, and I think it works all right that way. Could be totally wrong, but I'm going to try it again with the same make of hinge as I had before, and if that doesn't work, I'm just going to buy a much bigger, stronger hinge. See where that hinge wasn't up to the challenge. New hinge time. As the hinges are relatively quick and easy to replace and relatively cheap, maybe I should just consider them to be a consumable part of the skateboard. At least now these bits are up against the metal here again, whereas before they weren't. There was so much rubber in here that these were actually had a couple of millimeters between loop and metal. One more quick evolutionary point that has just occurred to me is that this vlog is effectively a bit of an evolution as well, which is part of the reason why I've been to London twice with Jasper, you know, the last couple of days, because I'm trying to work out what I can do and what I can't do, and where it's going to work and where it's not. And also, it's just great fun with him, of course. So I'm having a great time with him, and I don't want vlogging to get in the way of that, but I'm just trying to work out, well, what can I fit in and what can't I? And, you know, until you try it, you don't know what'll work and what won't. I hope you've enjoyed today's vlog post. If you have, remember to like it, share it, and subscribe if you haven't already. And follow me on Instagram if you don't already. And I'll see you tomorrow for the next installment of my daily vlog. Bye. That's it. Leg at the front. There we go. There you go. That's it. Ready? Give you a bit more speed and let go. Hey. Good stuff, Jazzy. Hold my hand, I'll give you a little pull. Ready, let go.